CreepyLeaks has provided information about a black-budget paramilitary organization calling itself the Enhanced Services Department. CreepyLeaks is a whistleblower who reached out to our very own Professor Spooky on the dark web. We have previously produced, effectively, a decrypted dossier outlining the history of this organization. The revelations are world-shattering. Professor Spooky continues to decrypt, decipher, cut and paste, and editorialize as quickly as he can. He is nearing completion of his research into Project Prussian Soldier, as well as some bone-chilling revelations about the true nature of atomic testing. Prior to posting those episodes, Professor Spooky wanted to codify the classifications of the many enhanced phenomenon he has been researching, so you, dear viewer, fully understand the threat they pose to our reality. Professor Spooky here. I'm back with more caffeine and more information provided to me by CreepyLeaks. This is a small but necessary information dump classifying the levels of threat various types of other dimensional entities pose to our world. In order to best understand this, I need to introduce you all to the concept called Theralis. The following is directly from CreepyLeaks' decrypted files. The Theralis. The three planes of existence any creature, being, or entity can exist upon at any one time. Researchers at the Enhanced Services Department have determined that all observable, independent, and intelligent entities exist on one of three planes. Some of these entities have the ability to exist on and interact with more than one plane at the same time. The three planes are known as the material plane, the astral plane, and the hidden realm. Theralytical analysis provides an accurate gauge of a given entity that crosses between one of the three planes. Measuring the theralytic signature of an entity will help determine the threat categories, as well as the best way to contain or banish it. Most people exist on one plane, the material plane. However, spiritual and psychical energy regularly emanate from the astral plane. The final plane, the hidden realm, is the fount from which many of the spiritual powers and entities are associated. The hidden realm is the most difficult for people to access, or even begin to understand with our limited senses. Many of the traditionally religious members of the ESD believe this is the realm of God, his angels, and the devil and his minions. It is further theorized that the hidden realm is comprised of multiple higher dimensions that vibrate at frequencies as yet unknown to many on the material plane. Dimensions are realms that are affected in one form or another by the three known planes. Other dimensional entities, O.D.ENs, are creatures that usually originate from dimensions with a much higher affinity to the astral plane. It is important to emphasize that dimension should not be conflated or confused with plane. They are very different things. For instance, Earth exists entirely in the material plane, but there are many alternate or parallel Earth dimensions that coexist in other dimensions, but all exist simultaneously in the material plane. O.D.ENs are classified in 4 observable categories. Category 1. These are the most common and least impactful of all O.D.ENs. These entities generally have a benign impact on the general populace and are rarely noticed. Category 1 O.D.ENs can present as something as passive as an interdimensional effect on our plane or some sort of extra-dimensional creature with little power or no interest in humans and the material plane. Have you heard something bump around in the night? Felt a foreboding but invisible presence in the car with you? Have you developed film with strange spots or with double exposures of people you do not recognize? You have most likely encountered a Category 1 O.D.EN. This category presents itself more often to those with higher than average levels of ESP. Category 2. This category differentiates from Category 1 in that these O.D.ENs are aware of entities from our realm. Category 2 O.D.ENs can, and often do, have a direct and deliberate impact on our plane of existence. The limiting factor is the power of the O.D.EN and the size of the potential effect it can have on our realm. The impacts of this category are generally minimal and of limited scope. Many poltergeist activities and demonic possessions have most likely been the act of a Category 2 O.D.EN. Category 3. Category 3 O.D.ENs have generally been observed to be more powerful interdimensional entities that exhibit considerable intelligence, more power to affect much larger portions of our dimension, and more targeted behavior. In short, a Category 3 Odin has plans, and the power to affect those plans. They are purposeful and most often have negative effects on the material plane. When identified, ESD will at all costs work to contain, banish, or destroy a Category 3 Odin, regardless of the potential of collateral damage and civilian deaths. Several governments have been aware of this class, if not by name, and have been defending their nations from them for decades. Category 4. This is the highest known Odin category. Generally, Category 4 designated entities possess significant power and intelligence. Category 4 Odins are easily threefolds more powerful than the most powerful Category 3 Odin ever categorized. There has been no documented sightings of a Category 4 Odin, but there are numerous historic, biblical, and mythological accounts that strongly suggest interactions with Category 4 Odins were common in mankind's prehistory. These entities, we can only speculate, exist in dimensions that make our own of no interest to them or their motivations. It is the opinion of ESD that it is to mankind's advantage to remain below the notice of these very powerful entities. Okay, Professor Spooky back here. That's all I have this time out. This was a short but important info dump necessary to provide framework for future updates. Frankly, the realization that godlike entities are bumping up with and crossing over into our dimension is terrifying to me. Like everything CreepyLeaks related, I am continuously decrypting, researching, cross-checking, compiling, and recompiling as more info is decrypted. I have some info on Category 3 and 4 Odins that is truly bone-chilling and will make you rethink what you think you know about Freemason lodges and the real purpose behind the testing of nuclear weapons. Also of note, I am of the growing opinion that the hidden realm is a hyperdimensional plane of existence that itself may be a realm of several higher dimensions that the human mind, existing only in 4 dimensions, can't conceive. Possibly as many as 22 distinct dimensions that I believe map onto many cosmological beliefs about the Tree of Knowledge. Expect more episodes soon on all these points. Professor Spooky, out.